What is going on, everybody? This is your dude Shop, and we are here with the NBA DFS strategy lineup show for you guys. Yo, I appreciate everybody coming through. I have on the phone with me who's going to help me break down all these NBA games tonight. We got none other than D Smooth. What's going on, Smoothie?
Not a whole lot, not a whole lot.
Not a whole lot. This man say he just got from he got off the plane. He went to talk to Taylor Heineke. Um, B Parks is
Yeah.
already in the chat saying put some respect on Heinegoat's name.
See,
You can't
you,
quantify heart.
see,
You're
B
right. We
Park
can't
sound like a
quantify
brand.
heart, but we can evaluate arm strength and arm talent. That we can do. That
B
we can
Parks
do.
is all about W's, man. He
It's
about W's.
it's all about W's. All right. Well, we not into that today. We got to do this in an hour. This is the NBA DFS strategy lineup show, where Smooth and I will break down the night's NBA action. We got 8 games tonight, Smooth. 8 games tonight, and we're gonna cover through all of them. I think we talked before. We're gonna go through each game and just talk about scenarios, the guys that we like. We not necessarily will do a lineup from this show, just for those who are joining in. We probably won't do a lineup from this show, but we'll probably give our suggestions, who we like, who we don't like, some of our fades and stuff like that. So you know, that's how the show's gonna go. I want to do this show every day, but I won't commit on a time just because we do have a real jobs, and I can't. When it comes to two people, sometimes it's going to fluctuate. So make sure you follow me on Twitter at Shopmaster if you want to know when the video when we go live, and we'll also put this video up on YouTube as well for those. So Smooth, how you feeling?
Feel good
I
after
mean,
last night.
I was
Feel a
about to
whole
say,
lot better.
like this is like the um this is not the first night, but still we're still early in the season. How you feel about making lineups already early in the season?
It's definitely been an adjustment for me. The formula for last year, I don't know whether because we don't have enough data yet, but it's an adjustment period. It's an adjustment period. I think we finding our niche, or at least I'm finding a little niche now.
Yeah, I think we are finding our sort of our sweet spots and where we can leverage plays. The one thing I will say, in previous years, it took like a week and maybe a half to figure out how teams rotations and stuff are. But having everybody played in the uh first 2 days of NBA action was great because we got to see a lot, and now we're seeing these teams for the third time, second and third time around, right? So I think that has been great. So let's go ahead and get it started with the Indiana Pacers and the Philadelphia 76ers. By the way, before we start there, make sure guys, I have a new morning sports talk show starting November 1st. So there'll be more information regarding that, but I do have a new morning sports talk show starting November 1st. And we'll explain all of that in the coming days as we get closer to November. All right, Philadelphia is favored by 11 and a half with a 227 total. Let's start with the Indiana side because I almost feel like the Indiana side might be a little bit easier. But let's start with the Indiana side. Smooth. Who do you like from the Indiana side? Their starters are probably going to be Halliburton, Jalen Smith, Buddy Hield, and Aaron Neesmith,
Well,
and Isaiah Jackson.
I was
Who?
about to say, well, uh, Isaiah Jackson for his price, he hasn't really been getting the minutes, so I'm not really sure about him. Jalen Smith already done burnt me but
Is he already on your ban list already?
he's on the he. I
He's
don't
on
want
the
to put him on
cusp.
the ban
He's
list
on the
for the
cusp.
because of the game that I picked him. He only officially played 6 minutes, but
That's tough.
yeah. So I'm just gonna. We had him as being questionable, but he was very productive. So now that his price has moved up to 5, 9, 6,000, I'm not as big on him anymore. Halliburton has been killing, so he's
Killing.
always worthwhile looking at. You know, so uh, maybe just Halliburton and maybe Tom Jackson for a relief
Yeah,
person.
see, I'm going back. I really like Halliburton. This year has already produced 38 fantasy points his first game, 47 fantasy points his second game, 57 fantasy points his third game. Can he go higher than 57 this game? I don't think so, but he doesn't need to, right? He's only 8'5", so he really only has to give you like maybe 43 fantasy points.
Yeah,
If he gets to 50, that's even extra. Look, this Philadelphia team hasn't scared anybody. In fact, Philadelphia hasn't won, at all this year, right? So, when we talk about, oh man, is Philly a tough matchup? Well, I mean, they just got beat by the San Antonio
Spurs.
Spurs, right? They just got beat by the San Antonio Spurs. So I don't know how much fear you should have in not rostering these dudes because of who they're about to play, right? Usually, sometimes we say, "Oh man, they're facing a big defensive team right here who slows the ball down. It's not up in pace. Uh, like these guys may not give." I'm not worried about the 11 and a half point spread. I guess
Right.
that's what I'm saying. Like the 11 and a half point spread at home does not scare me. They just lost to San Antonio, who I feel like is a bad team. I feel like is a bad team. And the and yeah, that was 2 nights ago, but it probably still hurts. And so I do like Halliburton. Now Jalen Smith is intriguing at 5'9". I think he might be a little bit overpriced because I
Yeah,
just don't know if he's gonna stay out of foul trouble.
correct.
You
Yeah,
know,
I agree.
I don't. I actually think they're probably gonna put Isaiah Jackson on Embiid at first, but I still am not. I'm not sure about Jalen Smith. The one person I am a little curious about, just a little bit curious about, is Goga.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing.
Because if Jalen Smith and Isaiah Jackson get in foul trouble, Goga's going to be the beneficiary of it and going to be able to come in and produce. And last outing against Detroit, that's what happened. One of those two got in foul trouble, and even though Goga only played 25 minutes, he still ended up getting like 43 fantasy points
Yeah,
on
he had
FanDuel.
15 rebounds.
Yeah, he got a bunch of rebounds. Again, that was against Detroit, who is a bad rebounding team. So I don't think he's going to get 43. But could he get 25? Yeah, I think he could get 25 at 4.5 thousand on FanDuel. I think he can get 20. I think he can get 25 if necessary.
The
It's yeah. Go
only
ahead.
problem I have is uh Jalen Smith didn't play but 6 minutes against the Spurs, and Golga didn't, and he only played 18 minutes,
Yeah.
but he had eight. He didn't rebound as well, so I'm not sure what to make. I mean, his minutes increased each game, but like I
Mm-hmm.
say, he's an interesting play because he's a big man, and you need bodies against Embiid.
Yeah. When it comes to any of the other starters, yeah, I don't. I just don't know. Like the one of the guys that I do like off the bench is this Benedict Mathurin guy. I think he's a rookie. Like I've never heard of this guy, but we're looking at him at 5.4 thousand on FanDuel, which you would like be like, ooh, that's a little overpriced, but he's gotten at least 30. He averages 34 and a half fantasy points. He got 33.4 against Washington, 35 against San Antonio, and then in the last game he got 36.4. So if you can give me 35 and you're a 5.5 guy, like that's the kind of stuff that I'm looking for. So I will, probably take a flyer on him in GPP, just
Mhm.
because he has been producing. He's gonna be. I don't think he's gonna be heavily owned, and he, I I definitely think he could be, a pretty good play, a pretty good play right here.
Yeah, he has been exceeding expectations, and his price. Well, his price now moved up to 5,000, but he's with a 5,000 price tag. You're expecting him to only get produced 25, so he's been averaging 30, 30, about 35.
Yeah,
So yeah, that's a good, yeah,
and the cool thing, I feel, and God sent Candor in the chat say he's been going crazy, is that his minutes have been steady. 27, 28, 30. Those 3 games. So it's not like he's getting a bunch of minutes all of a sudden. And we just talked about Goga, who got 18 minutes one game and then 25 minutes the next game.
right.
So I feel like if you're going to take a chance on one of these bench players for Indiana, I think it is Matherin. I think it is Matherin. He's only available in the shooting guard spot. We've been. I think we talked about it yesterday. All these players with these, double spots. All these centers now have power forward eligibility. So now you're able to get really 2 centers into the thing. I think that's been a great thing that FanDuel has done, because that center spot was so crazy a lot of times.
Yeah,
But now he only gets shooting guard. On DraftKings, he gets shooting guard and small forward. But on FanDuel, he only gets shooting guard. And again, his projections are at 24.3, but he's been averaging, again, 34 for the Pacers in fantasy points.
and also with Philly being 12-point favorites, you would expect him to be one of the people, you know, off the bench. You always like off the bench players and blowout games also.
Yeah,
But
I
then
was about to say that's another thing that, like, I don't think that this game is going to be a blowout. But if it does become a blowout, he's going to be in prime position to get more than 25 minutes. He's probably going to get 30 minutes if it's a blowout. So he is. If there's a safe bench player that I like so far, he's probably number one right now.
right, I agree.
Now, if we go to the other side of this game, we have Philadelphia hasn't gotten into the win column this year. Hasn't gotten into the win column this year. First, what is going on with Philly? Like, have you watched any of these games?
Man, after the opening night, now I watched some of the game two.
Yeah, I did watch I watched the Boston and the Milwaukee game.
Yeah,
I didn't even watch the Spurs game because I was like, oh, they'll probably beat the Spurs, but nope,
yeah,
they lost to the Spurs.
yeah, that's true. Oh yeah, yeah, because that was one of the early games.
Yeah,
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 that
right. That wasn't because it
was
wasn't on the slate. It wasn't on the main slate. But it's
right.
not like they just lost like an overtime last second shot or nothing. No, they got beat 114 to 105. 114 to 105. So what do you take from this team, and who do you like as far as the starters who are Embiid, Harden, Maxey, Harris, and PJ Tucker?
Harden's been pretty good, I must admit.
Yeah.
He's probably doing about he's averaging 40 minutes. Um, he's given us 52, 61, and 48. So now that his price done jumped up, so he's doing what he's supposed to do at that price tag. But I mean, it seems like he's back and he's playing 40 minutes. So they
Yeah.
definitely trying to win the games. They trying to win. So
Yeah,
uh,
I agree with Godson Candor in the chat who says it's too many ball dominant players. It's really not too many ball dominant players. It's just two. The problem is Harden hardly ever gives it up to Embiid right now, and he is taking the. I think there was a stat I heard the other day where he has dribbled more with the ball than anybody else on the team altogether. So put everybody else that played in the game, add up all of their dribbles. Harden has still more dribbles than him.
I mean, from the games that I watched or can remember, I say that much that I can remember, I haven't really seen Harden and Embiid in the pick and roll game that they done when they first acquired Harden.
Yeah,
But if I had to point the finger besides a coach, and I probably had to point it at Embiid because he did say, "I want the old Harden." So you gotta be careful what you wish
yeah,
for.
exactly. The old Harden means that I'm going to dribble, 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 dribble,
Yeah, I want
drive,
that Houston
and then
Harden.
shoot. Yeah, yeah. You're right. He needed to be careful about what he said. Now he got the old Harden. Now he can't even get up shots. I mean, with that said, I mean Harden has been putting up. He put up 14, 24, and 18 shots, which you were like, that really wasn't a lot. Uh, oh no, that's field goal. No, that's field goals attempt. Yeah, that
Yeah,
wasn't doesn't seem like a lot, but when you have Embiid there, who is supposed to be the guy, you know, I think one, you're bailing out the defense because the defense doesn't have to guard those other people.
mhm.
But two, you're probably frustrating your big man because you're not getting the shots. I mean, Harden was what 4 for 18 yesterday. I mean, against San Antonio, 4 for 18. It's not good, Bob. It's not good. So who do you like from this starting lineup?
Yeah, but I but that's the crazy part is um maybe because James missed so much and maybe Embiid was getting rebounds. That was James' worst game, but that was Embiid's
Best
best
game.
game. But the stats show like Harden's been efficient his first two games, and then B kind of stunk it up the first two games, in my opinion, for what
Yeah.
you like his shooting percentage was down.
Mm-hmm.
So it might be, I don't know whether he's playing his way back into shape. Like
No.
I'm
I
I'm not
I
sure. Like he
I
missed a lot of shots.
I think the difference between Embiid's first two games and his last game, which I think we both agree was his best game, his last game, he got to the free throw line. This
Yeah,
man shot like 14 free throws. So, when you shoot 14 free throws, you're you're better. Actually shot 15 free throws. He only shot 12 free throws in the two games before that.
yeah,
So
yeah,
to me, that's the difference. He was more aggressive, and I think when he sees this small, thin lineup for the Pacers, I think he's going to be just as aggressive. I can definitely see him getting, at least 10 plus free throw attempts again. And
yeah,
if we see that again, that's why I kind of am fearful of Jalen Smith and Isaiah Jackson for Indiana because they're going to be the ones that he pounds down in the paint.
yeah. I agree. Yeah, I would probably say between the two, I would probably lean more towards Embiid this game than I would Harden. You know,
Yeah.
at the price tag, they similar. Embiid's 300 more. Um, Maxi, I have to take a look at Maxi.
Yeah, so Embiid is 10-3, and of course Harden is 10-0, but I'm with you. I like Embiid better in this game than I do Harden. Maxi at 6'5", look, I like Maxi. I just don't think he's gonna get the shots that that he should get. Now, again, he attempted 18 shots last game, which was more than he had more than he had shot in the previous two games. But again, with James Harden being so ball dominant, like the thing with Maxey is I feel like he doesn't get any of the other peripherals. Except for last game he did, right? Last game he had 3 rebounds, 6 assists.
Mm-hmm.
In the previous game he had 0 assists. In the game before that he only had 2 assists. Like so he's not a player unless James Harden is moving the ball where he's going to get a lot of assists because he doesn't have the ball in his hand, and usually when he has the ball in his hand he's got to put it up. He's
Yeah,
got to
he's
put
more of
it
a
up.
slasher. Yeah, he slashes. He drives to the basket, so he's not going to have a lot of assists. Where he's probably going to have more steals, maybe blocks. I mean, not really counting blocks, but his defense is pretty. He's okay. So you look for him to get into the passing lane, get steals, and his quickness get the fast breaks.
Yeah. So does anybody else or anybody on the bench really stand out to you? Because for me, it nah, it doesn't. I like there's some other games on this slate with a higher total, a higher pace that I like, and I just don't see myself getting to any Tobias Harris or Tucker or anybody on the bench.
Yeah, I was about to say Montreal Harrell.
I was gonna say
He's not getting no
Montrez.
minutes. Reed hasn't gotten like yeah,
That's crazy
man.
because I love Montrez off the bench when he was with the Wizards. Always brought energy. Always looked for a shot. Like put shots up. But
Yeah,
he has not attempted a shot in his last two games. That to me that's not Montrez Harrell like, but you know, that's
yeah,
that's where we are.
yeah.
That's where we are.
What do you think about Melton?
So I had Melton the first game, I want to say, and he did okay, but I just think Melton is okay at 3.8. Um, I just like other people on this slate. I just like other people on the slate.
Yeah,
His minutes went down last game, so
yeah.
I don't
He's
even know
getting
if
his
he's going to
minutes went
get
down.
15 minutes. You know, if it's a blowout, if you feel confident that this is going to be a blowout, maybe you take a chance on him in GPP. But I'm not. Again, I said before, I'm not confident that this will be a blowout.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not. They haven't got no win, so even if they get a blowout, they still might be like, "Hey, we need a win. We gonna play y'all."
Right, right. All right, all right. Let's go ahead and move to the next game. We have Toronto at Miami. Toronto at Miami. Looks like Toronto is 3.5 point dogs. I mean, no, 3.5 point favorites in this with a 217 total. You know me. I'm a big total guy, and I do not like this game at all. I do not like this game at all. Scotty Barnes might be questionable to play for Toronto. That's where we're going to start. So that does make Pascal Siakam a little bit more viable, a little bit more interesting at the 9,000 price tag for FanDuel. Where are you looking at? And is Van Vliet still on your list?
New season.
New season. So hold on. Let's get this straight. So for those who are listening, we have ban lists. Of course, anybody that bets or does these types of slates. There's always a guy that's on your ban list. D Smooth has declared that new season, nobody's on his ban list, even though this man Van Vliet has been on his ban list for 2 years in a row. Two
COVID.
years in a row.
COVID. COVID. That those is COVID seasons.
Oh, those were COVID seasons. Okay, okay. So we start over. Okay. So we start all over. All right, this Toronto team. Let's get it going. This Toronto team. Who do you like?
Actually, just looking at it, I don't like the game because, like you said, the total. But these two teams just played, so
Hmm.
I like Siakam. Scotty Barnes didn't play a lot of minutes when they played the Heat the first time,
Hmm.
so I kind of like Siakam. Van Fleet, him and Lowry, old teammates. So I I I mean, did they? Oh, Van Fleet price went up a little bit,
Yeah, yeah. His
um,
price went up for me. Like
yeah,
maybe if he was back down, maybe he would be in consideration for me. Um, but because at first it was 7-1, but now it's 7-3, and it's not that much difference. But again, I just don't like the environment.
yeah,
God sent Candor in the chat said fade Fred. I'm probably gonna fade Fred tonight. If
right.
Scotty Barnes does not suit up, if he does not play, again he's questionable right now. If he does not play, I like Siakam. I like Siakam. Siakam has had a great start to the season. 47, 50 something, and 60, I believe, in his last three fantasy games. No, 42, 64, and 51. He scored 51 against Miami. He's been hot. I've accused this man of not shooting the ball enough. He's getting up 20 plus shots, averaging 20 plus shot attempts per game now. I like Siakam, especially if Barnes drops. Do you like Siakam?
I definitely like Siakam. I like Siakam, and like I say, they usually Toronto players been getting a lot of minutes, and the person who I would probably look at the most since Scotty didn't play, Precious Achua.
Mm,
He had a solid game, but I like him for his rebounding, and I like him for his price.
yeah.
He usually plays pretty good. For a price relief, I would probably look at Achua, depending on if he start or not.
So Scotty Barnes did not play against Miami, or he only played 13 minutes, so he must have
Yeah, he
got
only
hurt.
played 13 minutes.
Yeah, so yeah, and so Achua came in and ended up playing like 30 some minutes, right? He ended up playing like 33
Yeah,
minutes.
yeah.
Got 31 fantasy points. That's pretty solid, especially against Miami team.
So
Anybody on the bench for Toronto that you like, other than Achua?
nah, just Achua.
Just Achua.
Nobody else got yeah.
So Boscher, just to note, Boscher hasn't played at all this season, and he's probable. I don't know how that affects the lineup or the rotation. We'll have to see if he plays or not. But you're right. If he doesn't play and Scotty Bonds doesn't play, I like Achua and Siakam
Yeah.
to make my lineup. All right, let's move on to Miami. Who do you like from this Miami team? We got Butler, Bam, Hero, Lowry, and Max Strauss starting for the Miami Heat, who are 3.5 point underdogs. Any Jimmy Butler today? 8-3 seems kind
I
of
thought
low, but
I thought Miami was favored. Yeah, Miami
uh,
favored.
oh
Miami
yeah,
favored.
Miami
Yeah.
is favorite. My bad. Yeah, Miami is favorite. 3.5. Miami is favorite 3.5. Jimmy Butler 8-3 is very interesting because he's never been. I only like playoff Jimmy. Playoff Jimmy is another beast. These regular season Jimmys that you see, not that impressed. Not that impressed. In fact, he hasn't made his value at all in any of the games. And against Toronto, he had 34.3 fantasy points. He was 7 for 16 from the field, 34 minutes. That's the one thing you'll get. He'll get 30 plus minutes, 33, 34 minutes.
Hmm.
But I don't know. I mean, what do you think?
I think. Yeah, I like competitive game. One thing we used to look at, like with during the COVID and previous years, is a short bench.
Yeah.
don't look like Miami's playing that deep. So it seems like Jimmy has to play. So, I like him not for his price, but if you're like, hey, they gotta play, yeah. Tyler Hero had a good game against Toronto. I like Toronto's defense though. Hero had a good game, but he didn't get a lot. I don't think he played a lot of minutes. So
Now he only played 22 minutes. He only played
yeah,
22 minutes, but Tyler Hero has been actually pretty good this year so far. He has a 6.5 thousand price tag,
yeah. So I'm
but
a little,
I feel
you
like he
know,
can get you 35.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I agree. So like I said, because I don't like the environment, I like if I had to take somebody, like if I'm trying to fill out a roster like Hero or Jimmy Butler, I kind of like both of them, in terms of just for this game,
Hmm.
you know. Kyle Lowry is only 5'3".
Yeah, yeah. So I was gonna point that out. Out of everybody, Kyle Lowry and Max Strus are, well, especially Kyle Lowry, I think is underpriced. But then again, I, I mean, 5'2". Like I feel like with
Yeah,
somebody like Kyle Lowry, he can fall into 25 fantasy points. Like
I was
he
about to
he
say,
he
and
should be
he's
able to
getting the
step on the
minutes.
court with the shooters on that team, Bam and Butler. He should be able to fall into 25 points.
Yeah, I agree. I like Lowry for that price
Yeah.
though, because he's getting the minutes,
Yeah. Yep.
So I do like him,
Yeah,
you
5'3"
know.
just seems way, way too low for Kyle Lowry.
But yeah, so yeah, Lowry, keep him in mind for a point guard position. But like I said, that game environment is just, yeah.
Yeah.
You got me kind of looked at game environments and scoring and stuff now. So
All right, let's move on to the next one as we try to hurry up and get this thing going. We got Orlando, the Knicks. The Knicks are favored 7.5 over the Orlando Magic. This by the way, this is Smooth's team. Smooth is a New York fan, so if he talks bad about him, it's because it's personal, not because he's looking at any stats or anything. So just know that when he's talking about New York. But let's talk about Orlando first. Ponchero, the rookie, number one pick, been looking good, looking real solid.
yeah,
Ran into a Boston team that kind of put the clamps on him a little bit, but he still got some points. Had 34.5 fantasy points against Boston, but before that had 45 and 47. What do you think about the youngster so far?
I like them, but now I'm looking at Atlanta and Detroit. Boston plays pretty good defense,
Yeah,
so you know he. I like him. I like him overall. I thought he would have got more rebounds against Boston, but overall, I think he's a good play. I really don't like him in terms of this game against the Knicks because the Knicks kind of play kind of slow. They play slow. Tibbs is a defensive coach,
yeah,
not to say the Knicks play good defense, but just a slow environment, you know, team that's halfway decent in defense. If anyone, I think I like Cole Anthony. Um, I think one of their point guards is out. I
one of their
forgot it.
point guards.
Yeah, was it or was he coming back? But I like Cole Anthony for his price. I like Cole Anthony, and with Orlando, they're another team that look like they use a short bench.
Yeah,
So they're that's something to look at as far as you want a person that's getting minutes. So I
yeah,
like Cole.
I like Banchero. I think the one thing I really like is his usage rate. Like
Mhm.
he averages 32 percent plus usage rate, which is good, and it's the highest on the team right now. Even with Cole Anthony being the point guard, he still is not doesn't have a higher usage rate than Banchero, and neither does Terrence Ross. For me, I like Banchero. I like Banchero.
Are
I don't
you?
see. Yeah, I like Banchero at 7.5. I I I don't. The only just what you said though. The only thing that worries me is Tibbs. He's going to slow it down. He doesn't want his guys to push. He wants his guys to get into a set. And whenever you see Banchero, you see him on a break, driving and slamming. You hardly see any highlights of him like coming off a screen or dribbling to a jump shot. So I feel like a lot of his points come off of fast breaks. But when you have a rookie, that's definitely you know where they're gonna thrive at. As far as anybody else, I think Wendell Carter might be a little bit too high. I know he had a good game last game, but I didn't. Boston, I feel like, doesn't have rebounders, and I think that's what he thrived in. I think he'll have a hard time rebounding against the Knicks. But yeah, all right. If we go to the Knicks side of things, who are favored by 7.5, I know this is your team, but what is your impressions? I know it's going to be hard for you to be, unbiased, but what is your impressions of Jalen Brunson so far in this Knicks offense and
I like
defense?
I like Jalen. I like Jalen Brunson. I
Mm-hmm.
like his I think now he gets more of a, but he showed last year in the playoffs that, if you put the ball in his hands, he can make things happen. He's a true point guard. He's
Right.
going to distribute, get his assists. Um, and Tibbs will play you 40 minutes.
Yeah. Right.
He'll play you 40 minutes.
Yeah.
So I definitely I definitely like Brunson. I Let me see if Derrick Rose have any has Derrick Rose been getting any minutes?
Um,
Der- Yeah, so I was about to say Tibbs will throw Derrick Rose up in there.
of course. The crazy thing is, you would think Derrick Rose wouldn't get no minutes, but no, Derrick Rose has been getting like he got 16 minutes last game. You
Yeah.
might not
So
think that's a lot, but in a Tibbs offense for a guy to get that much off the bench, like that's a lot.
yeah, so but
Anybody you feel is underpriced in this game?
no,
No. Again,
it's like New York. It's like talking about New York and Miami. It's almost like the same
it's
thing. It's
almost the
kind
same
of
thing.
like
Yeah, they're gonna slow it down. It's gonna be a slow paced game, as you can see. They're both the lowest point total. Everybody else is above 220. They not e- they not even above 220. So I probably won't get a lot from this game right here. Probably won't get a lot from this game.
yeah. Julius Randle might could do something. It's at his price against, but by them being favored 7.5, I can't really count on him to get you 40. I mean, he could get you 40, but like I said, I don't like the environment, so I can move on.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. All right, then let's head to our next game. We got Boston favored over Chicago in Chicago, 223.5 total there. Let's talk about Boston for a little bit. Jason Tatum and Jalen Brown have come out swinging. I I I kind of like Jalen Brown's price tag right here at 8.2, and I'm just surprised with their rotation. I just knew when they got Malcolm Brogdon that he would not be coming off the bench, but he is coming off the bench, giving you 20 minutes. But he's really not, fantasy wise, he's not doing all that much. Who do you like from Boston?
Yes. Oh, Marcus Smart at 5'6".
Yeah.
uh, he's a stat stuffer, and he usually gets the minutes, the starts, and he hasn't gotten off to a great start this season as far as fantasy. But
Mm.
like I say, he usually gets the minutes. But I've been a little hesitant. I want to see more of Boston because you have Marcus Smart, you had Derek White, and like you said, you got Brogdon.
Hmm.
So sometimes I just feel like that's going to be which of those three is playing better. Besides Marcus Smart, I think he's the one that's guaranteed to get his minutes.
Yeah.
But Derek White and Malcolm Brogdon, I think they eat into each other's time. It's going to be who's playing better that night. I think.
Yeah, like
You
Derek
know,
White played better the other night versus Orlando and end up 36 minutes and 40 fantasy points. Like if
right?
you can get Derek White in 40 fantasy points and he's only what 4.8,
Four
then
point.
yeah, that's what you want to do. That's what you want to do. But yeah, I'm with you. I don't see anybody that stands out fantasy wise. I think they'll be okay. Like again, I'm not sold on Jason Tatum getting you 50, I guess, tonight against Chicago.
Horford's looking old.
Yeah, Horford's definitely looking like he's aged. I don't like him. I think Derek White is a good piece. He's a starter.
Right.
So you would think his minutes are going to be a little bit more secured. But like you said, I think right now they're going with the hot hand. So if Malcolm Brogdon comes in and starts dishing and making shots, who knows? He might be in there instead of Derek White.
Have you noticed anything differently for Boston as far as they got a new coach? Well, where they what you call it, Spencer
Yeah,
going to
the
be
one thing I feel like he plays Jalen and Jason Tatum together a lot
a lot
more
more.
than
Yeah.
Odike did. Like
Hmm.
a lot more. Like the other day, I want to say in the first game, he had both of them on the bench at the same time, which they hardly ever did last year. They
Yeah, yeah.
usually had at least one of those guys out there.
Hmm.
So, but maybe it's because they figured out a way to work together, or
It might be because of Brogdon too. I'm thinking because
yeah,
really, if you really think about it, Boston really don't have a true point guard besides Brogdon. Like
right,
Marcus Smart, he's a to me he's a point they have him. I think he's more of a shooting guard, and but he plays defense on the point guard, shooting guard. So he's more defensive. He's not really a true point guard, as in let us set up. And I think Boston was exposed last year in the playoff when you don't have that point guard that can set up Jalen Brown or Tatum, or take the ball out their hands.
yeah, definitely, definitely. All right, let's switch over to the Chicago side. They're 4.5 point underdogs. Pretty good game total at 223.5. DeMar DeRozan stunk it up against Cleveland. I mean, just stunk it up. After two really good games. Vucevic at 8-2. Zach Levine is back in the mix, and maybe that's why you saw a
I was
little
about to say
decline.
that might have been why.
Yeah, that might have been why you didn't see. But I think he shot it poorly too. But Zach Levine's back. He's 7-2. He came back and put 38 on Cleveland's head. So what do you make from that? I
He
mean, this.
he got up twice as
Hold on.
many shots as DeRozan.
Yeah, I was just about to say DeRozan shot the ball 22 times his first game, 23 times his second game, and then when Zach Levine comes back, 9 times. He was 3 for 9 in 32 minutes. So if that's what we're gonna see with Zach back, yeah, give me no parts of DeRozan. No
Yeah,
parts of DeRozan.
yeah, they got to find a way to balance that. But and then Zach only played 28 minutes, so I think Zach for his price, I think that's a good price for him because he could easily get you 40 to 50, easily, you know. So I do. But against Boston, they play pretty good defense. But I like Zach Levine Price.
Yeah, I
I
feel
think
like
that's pretty good.
Zach is really the only viable option right now because as far as fantasy wise, because I feel like everybody else is being limited by Zach coming back. So like
Hmm.
everybody's minutes have gone down. Even the dudes on the bench. Caruso's not getting that many minutes now. Kobe White's not getting that many minutes now. All of this because Zach Levine has come back. So which makes everybody else's price a little bit higher than what it should. And Zach Levine is the only viable option, I feel like.
Right. I agree.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah,
any
even Houston.
anybody else that you can that you can think of
I'm
that you
not
would
seeing.
even think
I
about
think
rostering from Chicago? Because I
yeah, I
don't.
think you said it all with Levine, but yeah, I just think like they go just add pieces. I don't think nobody go really get enough time to be, as much time as they were earlier. So
Yeah.
and everybody's overpriced. So like Zach, yeah, he's good for his price. I wouldn't say he's gonna make my roster, my cash roster, but yeah.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Yeah. Probably not. All right, we want to take this time to shout out Underdog Fantasy, who is the sponsor of this video. I will have an Underdog Fantasy video out probably around 4 o'clock today. It was supposed to be at 3, but I got some things I got to do, so probably be 4 o'clock. I've been doing good on my picks, Smooth. I've been doing good. I've had uh, a couple of. I've definitely had a couple of 4 out of 5 whatchamacallits and one 5 out of 5. So I've been doing pretty good. Have you checked out Underdog? By the way, if you sign up today using Underdog, use code Shopmaster. Use code Shopmaster to sign up, and you get 100% match on your first deposit up to $100. You don't know nothing about Underdog, do you, Smooth?
Nah, I'm learning. That's why I gotta use your code, man.
Yeah, use the
Gotta
code.
learn from the master, shop master.
Oh, okay. Here we go. All right. All right. Utah at Houston. This is the game I'm looking forward to. This is the game that I'm probably gonna have a lot of exposure to. Somebody forgot to tell Utah that they were supposed to be in a rebuild and tanking the season. They are 3-0 on the year, with some pretty good wins over Denver, over Minnesota, and over the Pelicans. All three teams that people think are going to be in the hunt for the Western Conference title. And Utah just came in and said, as Lee Corso says, not so fast, my friend. Not so fast, my friend. Man, there's a bunch of options that I like from this Utah team, even though they are underdogs by just 1 point. But Kelly Olynyk is going to be on probably 90% of my rosters tonight. He definitely helped me out last night, and he is still underpriced at 4.8 as a starter for the Utah Jazz. What do you think? Oh, and I believe Mike Conley is probably not going to play on the tail end of a back to back. Right now they have him questionable, but I'm pretty sure they're going to sit that old man down on the back to back. So
Man,
what do you think about this this
look,
Utah squad?
the, the Mike Con- they moved Mike Conley price up. Oh my goodness! I was just looking at this. They got Mike Conley down. Hold on, is this FanDuel?
Yeah, this FanDuel. He Mike
No, I
Conley's
just
at
look.
6'5".
No, why I asked is because I looked at this last night in the early AM, and I was like, I put Mike Conley on my list. I was like, I think I got to look at Conley, and he was 5,400. He was like
Uh,
5,000 or something. And I thought, well, okay, well, let's go take Conley off the
well, I think
list.
he's gonna be out anyways.
Oh, you think? Oh, well, if he's gonna be out,
Yeah. I think he's
I
gonna
ain't
be out anyways, which means I like Jordan Clarkson. I like
that's what I'm saying.
Olenek. I like Markkinen. I mean, I pretty much like this whole team almost against a fast paced, no defense having Houston squad. That's been balling too, but I like I really like Olenek
Yeah, I like Olenek.
and
Olenek.
Markkinen.
Marketing prices move. Yeah, marketing rebound too, though. Marketing rebound. So, you know what? I like marketing, even though he's 7'6".
Yeah,
I
seven
really
six is
like him.
a little pricey, but if you think about it, he scored 39, 49, and 55 fantasy points.
And
Like,
that's what I'm saying. I was looking at. He didn't rebound against Denver. I'm looking at his rebounds for against New Orleans and Minnesota, which are not good defensive teams. And I feel the same way about Houston. So definitely marketing is yes. I like marketing.
but again, the crazy thing to me is that, this team was supposed to be tanking. This team was supposed to be
Hold
rebuilding,
on, hold on. Are you looking at the names that's on this team? They are taking.
but they not tanking. They still playing
Hold
hard.
on, hold on. Listen,
I understand.
taking means you know you
You remove all
you
the stars from your team.
and they did that, and so they just like these guys are overachieving because they want contracts. So I when I look at this roster, I don't see an all-star. So I'm like, Vanderbilt, he was barely playing for Minnesota, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, they tanking. They just happen to be winning. Like
You know what?
the team didn't get the memo, or the coach didn't tell them, hey, I need y'all to, you know, not win.
They're definitely tanking because they got this man Colin Sexton on the bench. That's how you know they tanking. When they only giving Colin Sexton 18 minutes,
Oh
like
yeah, yeah.
like okay, they tanking. Look, from a fantasy standpoint though, this is a pretty good team, especially they're in the perfect position to produce tonight against a up-paced Houston squad. Again, I like Kelly Olynyk. I like Markkinen. I like Jordan Clarkson if Conley is not going to play, which I don't think he's going to play. I mean, Clarkson already is getting 34, 36 minutes. I like
If
that to be even, you know, I just,
if Conley doesn't play, I like Malik Beasley.
you like
He's one of my
Beasley.
guys. He's one of my
Yeah,
guys.
he is one of your
Like
guys.
when he gets minutes, he produces, and usually he never carries a heavy price tag. So he usually can get you your 20. But if he's getting more minutes, I would definitely like Malik Beasley if he somehow makes it into the starting lineup.
Yeah, again, it's so tough early in the season because you don't know what the rotations are when people are out. Like people will say like, "Oh, Mike Conley's a point guard, so why would that mean more minutes for Beasley?" Well, because Beasley can fit into the shooting guard role, and because you have Jordan Clarkson, he's going to move into more of a point guard role, and so they might start Beasley. They might start
Mhm.
Beasley or they might start Colin Sexton. I think whoever they start, I might like the other guy.
Yeah,
I might
whoever's
like
coming off the bench,
yeah,
yeah.
who's ever coming off the bench, I like that guy. So if Colin Sexton is starting and Malik Beasley's coming off the bench first, I like Malik Beasley. If they put Malik Beasley in and Sexton's coming off the bench, I like Colin Sexton. But either way, I like all of these guys. Even this Kessler guy, we talked about him. He was in the optimal lineup yesterday. He was in the
Mhm.
optimal lineup yesterday. Had 22 minutes, scored 26.8 points, fantasy points. He's going to get
Yeah.
more minutes, maybe.
did
Who
they lose
knows?
this?
What's up? What's up, Stinky? Stinky said Clarkson be cooking and said, "Get your team together, fool." That's what PS3 stinks said to you.
Yeah,
All right,
I'm gonna get so sad.
all right. Let's move over to the Houston side of things. Look, a couple of days ago, we both liked. Well, at least I liked Sagon against Milwaukee. He put up 27 points, but I think he got injured as well. So we got some potential, backup play here. But who do you like here on the Houston side of things?
Houston, if Garuba Uzman, I'm 4,100.
Oh, Uzma. Uh huh.
Yeah, he's 4,100. He got 25 minutes against against Milwaukee. If he's starting, and I actually watched him play, he didn't shoot a lot, but he got some rebounds. Um, I kind of like him for his price.
Yeah.
Um, I like him, but the the dilemma for you is you tell me who you like between Kevin Porter and Jalen Green, and I'm gonna go with the opposite
I
one.
know. I know. Because both of these times when they played, I picked one guy and the other guy went off. And the other guy went off. But I'm going to tell you today, and I dare you to pick the other. Actually, you could probably pick the other guy in this environment, but I'm probably going with Jalen Green tonight.
Yeah,
Probably
I knew
going
you
with
were.
Jalen Green tonight. One, because he's the lesser of the price tags, right?
Right.
He carries a 6.3 thousand price tag, where Kevin Porter carries a 7.2 price tag. I like Green, and I like his matchup against Clarkson. If Clarkson is starting at that shooting guard spot, he's not going to check him. This man Clarkson, look, whenever Clarkson used to play, when he used to play for, did he? No, he always used to play for Utah. Whenever he
No, he
started,
played for the Lakers. He played for the Lakers.
yeah, but I'm talking about his time with Utah.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Whenever he starts, he does not like guarding because he doesn't want to be taken out of the game. He doesn't want to be taken out the game. So he's gonna let this dude go by him. He's gonna let Jalen Green put up all the shots that he wants. I like Jalen Green in this matchup, but they might move Clarkson to point guard, and then he's checking Kevin Porter. So one of these guys are gonna go off. It's just a matter of which one you're gonna pick.
man, they both might go off
They
because
both might go off. You're
they
right.
get enough shots up. Matter of fact, let's look at their shot totals.
Oh man. All right, you look at Kevin Porter. I'm gonna look at Jalen Green. Jalen Green's 20, 21, 19 for Jalen Green.
Kevin Porter 15, 16, and 19.
Yeah,
So
so it looks like Jalen Green put up more shots, but the percentages is not there. So the
yeah, I think
percentages are not there.
Porter's more efficient. I think Porter's more
Yeah,
efficient.
Porter is definitely more efficient. Again, Sagoon, if he's out,
I
if
like
Sagoon's out, that's like at least 10 more shots that got to go. And you already said Uzma Garuba don't put up a lot of shots.
yeah, he don't really. How you feel about Jabari Smith though?
So I was gonna get to Jabari Smith. I I mean he's okay. He's okay. He's putting up 17, 14, and 15 shots too. So I don't know. I want to say I don't know if what's his price tag. I don't like his
6
price tag
I
at
don't like his
six.
price tag.
Yeah, I don't like it
I
at
don't like his
six.
price
I
tag.
mean it was 4.8 like 3 days ago. So and it went up to six. So I wish he was still 4.8. So I probably will pass on him.
See, I like Sagoon because he gets rebounds
Yeah.
and everybody on Houston shoots, so
Yeah.
he's gonna have
Exactly.
plenty of opportunity for rebounds. That's why I like him even more.
And so
You know,
I'm hoping that he plays. If he plays, I'm probably gonna have some Sagoon.
yeah, yeah,
Especially against Olenek, yeah, I'm gonna have me some Sagoon.
yeah.
All right,
That,
let's move on to the next game. Brooklyn at Memphis. star-studded affair here. Let's start with Brooklyn. Looks like the starters going to be Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, Ben Simmons, Claxton, and Royce O'Neal. Man, I don't know who I like. Maybe Royce O'Neal. Maybe Royce O'Neal. I just don't feel good every time I pick Royce O'Neal though. Like it just doesn't feel right to pick Royce O'Neal. I think Kevin Durant at 10. Um, I think Memphis plays tough defense,
Yeah, they yeah.
but I say that, but then like Houston put up 120 on them. I mean, yeah, they had 134, but like they're a fast paced team.
Yeah, man, Brooklyn just like I don't like I like KD. I don't like KD for his price, even though he could drop 50 or 60.
Yeah,
So
but that's the
just to
problem.
be
He hasn't
honest,
dropped 50 or 60 yet this season.
and they playing in Memphis. This could be a game that can get out of control.
You got to understand Memphis is I believe Memphis is coming off of a loss, an embarrassing one too to Dallas. Dallas just manhandled them,
Yeah,
so they looking you know they looking for some get back, and I think they're a better defensive team than what they've shown, and so we'll see. We'll see, but
yeah,
I don't like Durant for his price. I really don't like Kyrie Irving for his price either.
yeah. Because
I
if Dylan Brooks is back, he he
Yep,
he tries to play some tough deal bully ball.
and that's
So
what I was gonna say. Dylan Brooks likes to play aggressive. He's gonna make his presence felt on the defensive end. That's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. So, and I'm not even gonna talk about Ben Simmons. Like I just think he's way overpriced right now. He hasn't come back into form. He has potential. Like I want to say in the first game they were talking about this man had like 18 potential assists, but ended up with only 5. You know, so he had 33 against Toronto, but I like to see more of him before I can be confident that he's
yeah,
going to produce.
you think they put him on job or they put Royce O'Neal?
Uh, do, on do they put Royce O'Neal on John Morant?
Yeah,
No, why would they put Royce O'Neal on John Morant?
I mean that's their best defensive player
Nah, I
besides
think
Ben Simmons. Besides, I mean him or Ben Simmons. That's what I'm saying. That's
nah,
why
I
I say
think I
between
think they'll
the two.
put Ben Simmons on him.
Yeah, that's what I was asking. Yeah,
Yeah, I think
because
they'll
I'm
put
just
Ben
saying those
Simmons
two.
on him. I think
Yeah,
I think if Dylan Brooks plays, he'll be on. Actually, I think Dylan Brooks might be on Kyrie. Nah, no. They'll put John Moran on Kyrie. They'll put Dylan Brooks on Durant or Bane on Durant.
okay.
But yeah,
Yes.
I mean, let's go to the Memphis side. Um, John Morant sitting at 10-1. This man has been amazing. His first 2 games were just crazy, putting up 24 and 26 shots. But again, they got blown out by Dallas, so I don't really put too much into that other than Dallas. Dallas was looking for a get back, so that's what
Yeah.
happened there. I think if Dylan Brooks comes back, he makes an interesting line. I think if he comes back at the 5-4 price tag is interesting, but see that's the thing. I don't know how it affects everybody else.
Hmm.
Like I like their foreign guys, Aldama and Conchar. Conchar kind of sold me last game after putting up 33 and 35. Then he puts up 6. But he also didn't get that many minutes. But Aldama has been solid as well the first 2 games. But then again against Dallas, they everybody looked bad against Dallas. Everybody. So
Okay,
we'll
so
see. What do you think about Brandon Clark?
Brandon Clark. I I I used to like Brandon Clark because he was coming off the bench for Steven Adams, but it don't seem like they give him the minutes. So
Nah,
I don't.
they don't.
He had a nice playoff run, but
Yeah,
it looks like they play um, Steven Adams.
I just think they could probably. I just don't see Brooklyn as a big rebounding team though, and so either Steven Adams or Brandon Clark is going to get a lot of rebounds tonight.
I, yeah, I think Steven Adams, boy. Like I say, for some reason, it don't seem like they play Brandon Clark as much. But I've been kind of impressed with Tyus Jones.
Yeah,
Tyus Jones for his price. I mean, for his 20 minutes, like I said, I don't know how Dylan Brooks going to affect. He's getting you 20, you know.
that's true.
And if this game gets out of hand, then I think he'll be one of the players that's playing in the end. So I will keep an eye on Tyus Jones.
Nah, I don't. And that's the thing, though. I don't think this game will get out of hand. I think this game will be, pretty competitive. But we'll see.
Yeah, I was
We'll
about to
see what
say
happens.
the Nets. I guess with the way they looked at opening game, maybe it was just opening game. I'm just still got like, and now they play both of their games at home, so I think this their first game on the road.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So, and
Um, it,
but you know who I didn't mention who I do like, even though his price went up, I
uh,
do like Nick. I usually like Nick Claxton.
Nick Claxton.
Yeah, I usually like him, but he'll be going up against Steven
Yeah,
Adams. So that'll be a little tougher matchup.
we'll see. We'll see. All right, let's move on. We got two more games left on this slate. San Antonio at Minnesota. Minnesota is 9.5 point favorites at home. 230.5 total. Let's talk. Let's talk San Antonio.
Man, San Antonio.
But
This guy Keldon Johnson been producing since he's getting the playing time.
yeah, so,
So
but so has Vassal as well.
yeah, I was about to say Vassal.
I,
Yeah,
I like Vassal and Keldon Johnson, like you said. I,
yeah.
I I like both of
I
these.
probably would go with Trey only because he's cheaper. I'm just looking at value, but I like both of them in this environment too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like probably if I had to pick one, I'd probably pick Vassal
Hmm.
more than I would pick Keldon Johnson or Trey Jones, even though he's $400 more than Trey Jones. I just like Vassal's consistency,
Yeah.
and like you said,
Okay.
they're all getting 30 minutes, so it should be good.
Yeah.
Jeremy Socon, uh, like I don't even know why they give this guy minutes. He first of all he looks crazy with his red hair, but
His minutes been slowly going down.
yeah, that's what I was saying. His minutes have been going down, and then we got my guy Podol in the middle.
Yeah.
Podol in the middle.
Yeah.
I, again, he's at 6'4". I guess that's okay, but
That's the. I mean, he facing Rudy Gobert.
that's true. That's true.
So you got to think he's going to be on the floor.
Well, here's the
If he's
thing.
not in foul trouble.
Here's the thing. You know how I like attacking San Antonio's big men. So I like some Rudy Gobert tonight. I might like me some Rudy Gobert tonight. He's at 9-1 though, so he's steadily itching up. He's steadily itching up. Anybody from Minnesota that you like?
Minnesota. I would. I like. Man, I just can't trust D'Angelo. Now did his price go up again? D'Angelo price went up. What did? Oh no, I can't trust D'Angelo. That might have been a blowout. His price went up, and I guess because he didn't get the minutes. So what is the spread on this game?
The spread is 9.5. Oof.
Yeah, I kind of like Gobert and Edwards. He didn't. Trying to think. He went for 45. His last outing, which is about seven. Yeah, that was over his average against OKC. So I kind of like Edwards too.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
I would probably go Gobert and Edwards.
Yeah, I like Anthony Edwards too. Again, this is one of the highest games on the slate. I think this is going to be more competitive than we think, but I already feel like Minnesota. I like Anthony Edwards in this. I think he's going to get a lot of minutes. Um, I want to say D'Angelo. Did D'Angelo Russell get hurt yesterday or something? He only played 25 minutes. They are on the tail end of a back to back too. They are on
Yeah.
the tail end of a back to back. But
Oh yeah, yeah. So
I,
you know who I might consider?
I
I
like
might,
Anthony Edwards more
yeah,
than probably anybody on this squad
I
right
might
now.
take a look at Jalen Noel since you said they on the back to back.
So
He may
backup
play.
point guard.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
he's been pretty solid. He had 19, 27, and 27.
Yeah.
So I would take a look at him for
So
sure.
even if he gets more run, he can
Yeah,
probably get more points.
right.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
take a look at that.
One person I'm definitely fading is Carl Anthony Towns. I don't. They haven't. I don't think they've figured out how that element works with him and Gobert. But maybe this is just what it is. Maybe we're only gonna see fifth. Not the cat that we used to been seeing. You know.
Yeah, well, he liked to shoot outside anyway.
Right.
So
So this is probably what he likes, even though it's not producing the numbers that we're
right.
used to. You know, he doesn't have to bang no more. He got somebody else in there that can bang. He can step outside, and
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll see.
So,
All right. So we got one more game of the night, and that's Denver at Portland. Denver at Portland. Who? First of all, who do you like in this game? Who you like in this Denver Portland game?
give me some Caldwell Pope.
Ooh.
I mean, he gets the minutes.
Uh huh.
He produces. He's not overly priced,
Yep.
so that's a formula. You got to think he'll probably be on Dame. So I like Caldwell Pope for his price. You
I
gotta
like it.
like Joker. You
You
know,
always like Joker.
gotta
Um,
like Joker, and him and Nurkic. They used to be teammates.
yeah.
So I like Joker.
I'm with
So
you. I like Caldwell Pope. He's been very steady. This is one of the teams that I've seen them play 2 games already this year. And I was a big Caldwell Pope when he was with Washington. I like him again now. I think somebody else looks like Jamal Murray is going to be back today, so that's why I kind of worry about Joker. If you
mhm.
take a look at Joker, when Jamal Murray didn't play last game, which was on the 22nd, he scored 60 points. But the 2 games that, you know, Jamal Murray played in, he scored 46 and 50 fantasy points. So while he's at 11,200, we kind of expect him to get at least 55, right?
No, Joker didn't play against Murray didn't play against Golden State, right?
Oh, he didn't play against Golden State. He played.
Yeah,
He played with against OKC.
yeah,
Okay,
he
hold
played
on,
against OKC.
hold on, hold on. Oh yeah, right, right. Oh man, and actually Joker had a good game. So, all right, so well, debunk that theory right there for me. Um, Yeah, if I'm guessing he's going to play again, everybody's at full strength. I don't know. I guess you could take chances on him tonight. I think he's going to be low owned. Joker is going to be low owned, so I definitely
Yeah,
like him for GPPs because he has a ceiling of damn 70 almost probably. So I
yeah, I like
definitely
Joe.
I definitely like him in GPPs.
And what did you say about Denver? They're not blowing anybody
They're
out.
not blowing anybody out. Don't please don't be fooled that you think Portland might get blown out here and they're at home. No, Denver is the worst at blowing out teams. They're the worst at blowing out. They could be favored by 20 against somebody, and they'll still end up a three possession game in the final minutes. Like they're not blowing anybody out. So as we take a look at Portland, don't be scared to throw these Portland guys out there because they're going to play their full minutes. This is not going to be a blowout. When it comes to Portland, who do you like?
You know, Portland. I usually like. I know he don't start, but for the minutes, I like Justin Winslow.
Justin Winslow? Okay.
Yeah, yeah. He comes off the bench. But in all honesty, I guess Dame prices moved up, so
Yeah.
I gotta like Dame. And let me see what Josh Hart has
What
done.
about Nurkic? You know he's got to be out there in order to play against, you know, to play
Nurkic,
against whatchamacallit, Joker. But you also, he played, again, he played 35 minutes against Phoenix and Aiton. So, and he produced. He scored 46 fantasy points, shot 6 for 10. I feel like he's definitely one of those guys who plays better when he plays against another big man.
not good. Right? Yeah. For his price though, at 67, he's 735. Uh, he's okay. You know,
Yeah,
I wouldn't. But you know who I would look at. I do like Josh Hart also though.
you like Josh Hart. I was gonna say
Also,
I last year I was a big Anthony Simons fan. I think he just hasn't found himself yet this year. But he's at 6,000, which I don't even understand how he got to 6,000. How do you start at 5.7 thousand? This is where I get mad with FanDuel because this guy started out with 5.7 thousand. He has stayed 5.7 thousand all three games, and now he's 6,000, and he hasn't scored over. His last game was
has gotten value.
14.2. So it's like, why? He had
Yeah,
one
why?
game that was 34.6. That was the first game. Then he scored 23 and then 14, and you decide to jump him up to 6,000. Like this is where
You
I
should have definitely dropped him after playing the Lakers.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, if he can't produce against the Lakers, like he should have dropped back down to like 5.5 or 5.4.
yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah, I like Hart. I like Hart. So I probably would say Dame Hart and Winslow for value. You know,
all right. All right. Well, those are our games. Give me your top two guys that is going to be in your lineups tonight.
top two.
Your top two. I'll give you
Yeah,
my top two while you
okay.
think about yours. So my top two are definitely going to be Kelly Olynyk. Again, I love that game environment right there against Houston. And I think I like that game, so I'm gonna stay with that game, and I am going with Jalen Green. Those are my top two guys for tonight in my FanDuel cash games. I like those two guys. What about you, Smooth?
I would definitely. I'm gonna stay with the same game. I'm going with Kelly Olynyk, and I'm going with marketing.
Marketing. I like marketing. He's
Yeah,
definitely
I'm
going to be
going
in
with
a lot of
marketing.
my lineups too. I like
Yeah, I'm
marketing.
going with marketing. Yeah, those my top two. Marketing is a little bit high. I usually like to try to find that one cheap person, and which that's probably looking like Olenek. But for marketing's value and in his game environment, for his price, I think I'm willing to take that chance.
Yeah. Nice. Nice. All right, guys, that's going to do it for the NBA DFS strategy lineup show. Y'all, I appreciate y'all watching. If you have any questions, definitely hit me up on Twitter. You can find me at Shopmaster. You can find D on Twitter as well at D double zeros and the one. So we're going to be creating again. If you're a part of my Discord, I give out my FanDuel DFS lineups free. In my Discord, put in exclamation Discord to get those lineups. Every day there's a DFS channel. Also, shout out to the sponsor of this show, Underdog. Make sure you use code Shopmaster when you use Underdog when you sign up to get a free matching on any deposit up to $100. And also, make sure you tune in November 1st for my new morning sports talk show. It's going to be in the morning, early in the morning, 6:30 a.m. is when that talk show is going to start. We'll probably go 2 hours getting you up to date and ready for the sports news for that day and kind of recapping what happened the day before. You'll be able to call in as well. So it'll be a call in show. You'll be able to call in. All you got to do is, again, just have a Twitch channel. You don't even have to have a camera. Just have a Twitch channel and a mic, and you'll be able to call into the show. We can discuss whatever topics we're discussing. So look forward to that November 1st. And we'll be doing more NBA DFS strategy lineup shows in the near future. I, again, will probably be doing one every day. I can't tell you if D Smooth is going to be available, but if he is, he will be on it as well. So
For
appreciate you
sure.
guys stopping by. Smooth, you got any last words?
Let's go get that money.
Let's go get that money tonight. We'll see y'all next time, probably tomorrow. Peace and hair grease. We out.